Okay, cool. So today, boom, right there. Now, this might seem a little bit random, but I keep hearing this woman's name, so I'm about to find out why. Let me get my title going here. Um, okay, give me a second here, my computer to figure out what it wants to do. Okay, so we're gonna change this. I don't know who decided that Calibri was the best default font. It definitely isn't. I don't know whose opinion that is. It's BMAS number 11. Yeah, Fani Willis. So, this charming young lady right here, um, is a lot of news I keep hearing. I have no idea who this is. Um, Kind of looks like one of my aunties, to be perfectly honest. So we're gonna go ahead and figure out why they keep talking about it. So and we're gonna start here. Okay, Fanny Typha Willis. What is Typha? Or Fani? Is it Fani? Oh, it's Fanny. It's Fani. Okay, that's interesting. She is a district attorney for Fulton County, Georgia, which contains most of Atlanta, serving since 2021. She is the first woman to hold the office. Willis investigated the 2020 presidential election in Georgia, which resulted in indictments against Donald Trump and 18 alleged co-conspirators on charges of racketeering and other crimes. Okay. Okay, so she got Trump like in all this doo doo that he's in. Willis was born in Inglewood, California. Her father, John C. Floyd III, was a founder of a faction of Black Panthers who grew disillusioned by the movement's infighting. When Willis was in the first grade, her family moved to Washington, D.C., where her father practiced law as a criminal defense attorney. Um, Her parents divorced, and her mother eventually moved back to California. She mostly stayed with her father. Graduated from Regina High School in Maryland, an all-girls Catholic high school that closed in 1989. Um, it closed right after. Willis studied political science at Howard University. My sister went there. Graduated cum laude in 1993 and moved to Atlanta to attend Emory University School of Law, graduating in '96 with a Juris Doctor. Okay, she has two kids with Mr. Fred Willis. So she's 52 or 53. Why do they not know her age? You don't know her age? That's really strange. Do they not know her age? What the heck? Okay. Um, in 2020, Willis was elected district attorney for Fulton County, defeating Paul Howard Jr., a six-term incumbent and her former boss. In this role, she is known for successfully using uh, Georgia's RICO statute to prosecute non-mobsters, and as of 2023, is using the same statute to prosecute former President Donald Trump and 18 alleged co-conspirators. In 2022, an employee in Fulton County District Attorney's Office alleged that Willis fired her for uncovering plans to misuse federal grant funding. In 2024, the House Judiciary Committee, chaired by Jim Jordan, subpoenaed Willis regarding a former employee's whistleblower complaint after a taped conversation of the employee discussing the alleged misuse of federal funds with Willis was released publicly. The committee gave Willis a deadline of February 23rd. Um, Dang, that just happened. Willis said that the employee was terminated for cause and that the $488,000 in federal grant funding was utilized appropriately. She pocketed it. She pocketed that money. Okay. Um. Yeah, she snatched that. Let's see. Okay, let's go to this Reddit article. So, okay. So this person asks, I've been seeing a lot of drama about I've been seeing a lot lately about the drama with Fani Willis or Fani Willis and the Trump GA election trial. What is going on? This is out of the loop Reddit. So this person writes, um, what you're hearing about is happening on the side of a larger case. The gist is that Fani Willis, Fani, I'm trying to think of what that reminds me of. Oh, like fawn, like the like pan. Okay. Anyway, the gist is that Fani Willis, the district attorney who was in charge of overseeing the prosecution of the trial for attempting to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia, was having a relationship with a lawyer she hired to help on the case. This lawyer was paid by her office. They then went on expensive vacations together. What does that have to do with anything? The lawyers for one of the defendants are arguing that Willis, and by extension her entire department, have a conflict of interest because she is being by personally enriched by the prolonging of the case because her boyfriend uses the money he gets paid from it to take her on vacation. So the whole case should get thrown out because the prosecution cannot act in good faith. I see. So how is he getting paid if she's like this doesn't make any sense to me. Um, oh, I see. So she's paying him under the. So she's basically avoiding taxes. Got on stand to defend herself and did so passionately. All right, I'm curious now. This is messy. ain't buying it. I say she's guilty. She's guilty. I don't know. Just going off of mannerisms, the way she held those papers up. That's I would say she's guilty. I don't know. Let's see. Right. He says that is not the behavior you would expect from the elected DA of Atlanta. She was very argumentative on the stand to the point the judge has to take a break. Mm, yeah, she's like nah, she's not a good liar. She's not a good liar. Like some people, like a lot of people who lie, they get like super emotional and they get sporadic. Being a good liar is hard. Okay, so this is the guy she's having an affair with. So let's see who this guy is. Okay, so ex lover. I feel like getting losing your job like in this way has to be the worst way to lose your job. Like having some kind of like sexual relationship and it like blowing up in your face. Okay. Says a former special prosecutor on the case against former President Donald Trump in Georgia canceled a national television interview at the 11th hour over the weekend. So this was 4 days ago. This article was written 4 days ago. So this is happening right now. Citing a family emergency. Okay, that's sketchy. Nathan Wade, who resigned from his position with the Fulton County District Attorney's Office last week, backed out of the interview late Saturday night, the evening before it was scheduled to take place Sunday morning on Meet the Press. Yeah, because he was scared because they have him cornered. The appearance was set to be the first time Wade would speak publicly about the scandal between him and Fani Willis that derailed the Trump case for roughly 2 months. Trump and several co-defendants in the case had moved to disqualify Willis in January after uncovering that she had been involved in an undisclosed romantic relationship with Wade while he was working on the case. They allegedly said she had conflict of interest in part because she took vacations with him, to whom she was paying a lucrative wage with taxpayer money for his work as a prosecutor on the Trump case. Okay. So, okay. Willis adamantly denies that she had conflict of interest, but a judge ruled on Saturday that she had shown a tremendous lapse in judgment by dating Wade after hiring him and that she could keep her job only if Wade left his position. Wade resigned within hours. This is hilarious. This is actually funny. No wonder people keep talking about this. This is hilarious. It is unclear that the nature of Wade's emergency was, and his law firm's office did not respond to a request comment. Wade, who is a practicing attorney in Georgia, still faces the prospect of an appeals process playing out over the conflict of interest question, and state lawmakers have also vowed to investigate Willis Wade independently of the court. Amid news, Wade had agreed to appear for a televised interview. Several legal analysts criticized him on social media for the decision. Yeah, the found he was remaining silent. Um, The family emergency was a sensible person slapping Wade at maximum velocity. Yeah, these people are in their 50s, mind you. This is some like 20-year-old BS. These people are in their 50s doing this. Okay, so let's see recent news here. Um, does this look like the face of a liar to me? Yes. This lady will lie to you. I can see that. Let's see. So it says Major Taylor Green moves to disbar Fani Willis. Dang. I mean, one thing I'll say is that people do this type of thing all the time. All the time. Doctors, lawyers, police officers, like every type of person who holds any type of like position of responsibility, there's gonna be at least like a good, I'd say 30% of people who just abuse that. And yeah, it's unfortunate. Filed a complaint for the disbarment of Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis over her illicit affair with the. How did they find out about that? Top prosecutor in her Georgia election interference case against former President Trump. This is the craziest Uno reverse card I've seen, I think. Like, they made this all about her. It was originally about Trump. Um, Lawyers for Trump and several co-defendants charged in the election interference case failed to meet their burden of proving benefit from hiring. Yeah. It's accused of having improper affair. Okay, we already know all this. All right. Okay. Let's see. Says February 2021, she launched a criminal investigation. Okay, so that was 3 years ago. Um, why did she do that? Find enough votes to override Joe Biden's win in that state and thus undo Biden's victory. Launched a criminal investigation into Donald Trump's attempts to influence Georgia election officials, including the governor, attorney general, and secretary of state, via a phone call to find enough votes to override Joe Biden's win in that state and thus undo Biden. Okay, so this lady might have single handedly caused Joe Biden to get elected president. This lady got Joe Biden elected. Okay, that is interesting. Wow. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay. In January 2022, she requested a special grand jury to consider charges of election interference by Trump and his allies. In May, a 26-member special grand jury was given investigative authority and subpoena power and tasked with submitting a report to the judge and Willis on whether a crime was committed. Willis sent target letters to people being investigated related to the fake electors plot. These include two Republican officials, Brandon Beach and David Schaefer, chairman of the Georgia Republican Party, and the 16 people who falsely presented themselves as electors. She also sent what is a target letter? U.S. attorney has substantial evidence being used. What is a target letter? Is that basically like saying it's a target larget? Is that basically like saying like you're being investigated? Okay, so that's like okay. So she sent like warnings to people. She also sent a target letter to State Senator Burt Jones. But then a judge ruled she could not target Jones due to a conflict of interest, which was created by Willis hosting a fundraiser for the Democratic candidate for lieutenant governor. Okay, so she's basically using she's using her platform to support the Democratic Party. So she's the DA, she's a district attorney for Atlanta, Georgia, but she's using that to basically influence every type of political matter and put Democrats up and put Republicans down. And then on top of that, she's apparently using, she's abusing her power by hiring a guy that she's dating and then using, and then like avoiding taxes somehow, and then using that money to like F off to Bora Bora or whatever. I don't know what they're doing, but let's see. After hearing from 75 witnesses, including former U.S. Senator Kelly Loeffler, former White House counsel Pat Cipollone, and a possibly Sidney. She's making a lot of enemies, and possibly Sidney Powell. The grand jury completed its work and was dissolved on January 9th, 2023. On February 16th, following a judge's order, parts of the report were released. Indicted Trump, 18 others on 41 charges, 13 charges of Trump. Scott Adams got 6 charges and 3 against Trump. Okay, so this was kind of a weak defense to like come after her for this, but I mean she could get disbarred. She could, right? Like people definitely lose their license for stuff like this. It says in March 2024, which is literally this month, McAfee ruled that either Willis or Wade must leave the case. The relationship brought about a significant appearance of I can't say this word. Okay, hold on. How do you say this word? Impropriety. Okay. A significant appearance of impropriety that impacted the structure of the prosecution. McAfee criticized Willis's actions in the case and the hearing, but did not find a conflict of interest under Georgia law. Wade subsequently resigned from his role as lead prosecutor. Okay, I already read that. In May 2022, she indicted Young Thug. Oh man, she got Young Thug arrested. She's gonna have a lot of enemies. Listed firearms and drugs that are covered with a search warrant was executed. The rapper has been held in county jail since his arrest. Dang. Says on the day she took the Georgia bar exam, she met Fred Willis, who was working an extra job as a videographer. They married in 1996 and had two daughters. They divorced in 2005. Willis said that she was in a relationship with Nathan Wade until 2023. Hmm. I know she regrets starting this indictment with Trump. I know she regrets it. I mean, either way, Biden already got elected, so hangs on to Trump case, but more turbulent lies. Okay, this article is from a week ago. Oh, I can't read it. Oh man. Effort to put Trump on trial. Says she plans to press ahead with her goal of putting Donald Trump on trial before the November election and intends to ask the judge presiding over the Georgia criminal case to schedule a trial date as soon as this summer. According to three people familiar with her thinking. wait, wait. Okay, that was funny. It's a bold move considering the hurdles Willis faces in getting the case back on track after a 2-month detour revealing embarrassing details of her personal life, damaging her credibility in the eyes of the judge Scott McAfee and leaving her politically vulnerable ahead of her own reelection bid in November. It's because she's in with the Democrats. This has nothing to do with law. It has everything to do with politics. Willis narrowly avoided being disqualified over her romantic relationship with lead prosecutor Nathan Wade, who resigned last Friday following a blistering rebuke from McAfee, publicly questioning both Wade and Willis's decision-making. On Wednesday, McAfee granted requests from Trump and his co-defendants to seek an appeal, meaning the threat of disqualification still hangs over Willis. I mean, I just feel like I don't know. This is a bag of worms. Republican Governor Brian Kemp last week signed changes into law that give a state commission the power to investigate Willis and authority to remove or sanction state prosecutors. Willis's rock-solid political standing has also been shaken. This month, Democrat Christian Weiss Smith, a former Fulton County prosecutor and Atlanta solicitor, launched a campaign challenging Willis in the May 21st primary. Republican lawyer Courtney Kramer, an attorney who works in the office of the White House counsel under Trump, has also joined the race. Dang, they finna get her up out of here. That's what that means. And then there's a Supreme Court's looming decision on whether the former president enjoys absolute immunity from special counsel